record. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so welcome. As I was saying, I am here this morning with Heather. She is my friend, but even more than this, she is a very powerful, very, very gifted, very guided a spiritual healer, and she's working with energy. She is transcending her own conditioning, and she's helping me and many other people to release trapped emotions from our physical and emotional bodies. Welcome, Heather, and thank you so much for being here.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, and so this morning, hello, Eva. I'm great. Hello. This morning, I received a message early in the morning in my meditation that the transmission, it will be about authenticity. And authenticity, from what they're saying, and I'm going to let them speak directly in a minute or two, but what they're saying and what I'm understanding, and if you understand something else, and if you have any questions, I'm going to keep the chat open on YouTube. And so, of course, Heather, if you have any questions for them, please address the questions, and I'm going to choose some questions at the end. So what they're saying about authenticity is that human beings, we have a very limitative and obscured kind of idea of what we really and who we really are. And so this transmission, it's meant to create some clarity for us. And so it is a live transmission, as you can see. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to invite them to speak. They are matching my vibration very well, or I'm matching theirs right now actually very well. And but also more than that, it feels like personality wise, from what we understand as personality, as being as here as humans, personality wise, they are also teachers. Like I'm a teacher, and so somehow, and of course they are my higher self, and I do understand that. It's just funny how some things do transfer and they stay with us. So, and I remember years and years ago when I first went to an Abraham Hicks live transmission. Abraham said, it was in Orlando, Florida, and Abraham said, wow, this is a room full of teachers. And somehow when they transmit to me, or they're always here and they're always talking. So yes, the voices in my head, they are always kind of giving me this flashbacks, or giving me this, connecting the dots kind of memories and kind of thoughts. Like this morning, because I'm going to Romania on Monday for a few reasons, and all of them have to do with the spiritual growth and evolution. And I got this message when I was walking the dogs, and it was like the song. They do transmit messages through songs as well, and it was this song that was saying, I'm going home to the place where I belong. It was just such a nice song that I was like, all of a sudden. So they do this. They're very funny. They have a lot of I would say charisma, but they are teachers. That's where I was going. They are teachers. This particular group are like the wise men. They remind me of Yoda, to be honest, in many ways, but a very, very funny, very tall and thin and blonde kind of Yoda. So it's a whole different image, but the sensation, it's that. So I'm very curious, because I'm a coach, and of course I talk about authenticity and how important it is to be our true selves all the time with my clients. And now here they are, so they may have a whole different teaching than I have shared so far. And I'm really curious about what that is as well. Hello, everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and start transmitting. I am channeling the High Council or Light Council of Pleiadians from Erra. And many people are asking, what is Erra? So from my understanding from their stories and what they're sharing with me, Erra, it's the capital of Tagira, which is part of the star cluster that we call the Pleiades. And so they are the Pleiadians. So it's very interesting because I'm getting a lot of feminine energy from them. And so they do act a lot on creativity, on obviously they communicate telepathically, but they also have a lot of intuitive guidance that they offer. And so they're living, they're actually incarnated beings, right? So they have light body, not light bodies, they have carbonized crystalline bodies. What they're saying, they are less dense than our bodies, so they are not fully light, but they are fifth dimensional beings on Erra. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and focus. If you want to join me in this transmission, they always recommend that you either hear it again or you participate in the live transmissions, and you literally have the intention of aligning with their frequency, because that is the fifth dimensional frequency, and that's where you want, we as planet Terra, as Earth, we are all going in that direction. So with this being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started. If you have any questions, please address them at the end, because I'm going to close my eyes and I'm not going to see them until then anyways. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to take a sip of water. Okay. Are you ready, Heather?
Yes, I'm ready.
Yes, me
Have fun.
too. Thank
Have
you.
fun.
It's always fun these days. It's amazing, actually.
Yes.
So I invite you, if you are watching this transmission, or if you are watching it later on in the recording, I invite you to, if possible, find a comfortable position with your spine straight, either lying down or sitting up straight. You can cross your legs or keep them flat on the ground. If you are grounding outside while listening to this with your headsets, it's also a very, very good way to align with the frequency. And then you can start by taking a few deep breaths from your abdomen, not from your chest and shoulders only. Focus on your breath and become present in the now, in the moment of watching this transmission, and always. So, dear ones, what a glorious morning for you. And we are here this morning through this vessel to be with you and to share with you from our knowledge that we have through our different perspective, our different point of view, that is for us at a different level, at a different dimension, at a different density, and therefore may provide a different perspective for you. And we are very happy to be here and transmit our messages through this vessel and others like her. She is, as she said, part of us, and she is also part of humanity, and she is has agreed to transmit our message. She had this agreement way before she was born on Earth at this time, and we just renewed that agreement and that mission. We just renewed her mission as she started to remember, and you, many of you are also starting to remember, and we are here to help facilitate this process, as many almost all of you are here to enjoy. You are here to experience and enjoy these marvelous times which are for your planet right now. And when we say your planet, we mean the planet in which you are living, incarnated, in which you identify to be at this moment. However, today we want to speak with you about authenticity and what that really means. And it has to do with your identification. And the question, who am I, has been on the mind and lips of many humans along thousands and thousands and thousands of years. You even have through your researchers and science, you even have some potential answers for this, and your science has shown that you are, of course, physical bodies as well as psychological bodies. You have a mind and you have a physical body. However, what science has not gotten the chance to prove quite yet, even though they are getting there, is the fact that you have spirit bodies as well, and you have a spirit mind. What is a spirit body and what is a spirit mind, you may ask? It is the main, biggest, most important part of you. You are powering physical body. However, you are spirit, you are source energy, you are expressions of source energy, you are expressions in its liking and in its vibration and in its essence. And so this is who you authentically are and what you authentically are. However, many of you have totally forgot this essence of yours, and the entire humanity is here now going through the process of remembering. However, not everybody is meant to remember at the same time in the same way, and we must be understanding and compassionate and loving to every soul's evolution in this experience, in this reflection of self. And so we have mentioned before, and we are many we are one group of many groups that you call extraterrestrial beings that are now speaking through different mediums and different channels here on Earth, sending the same message, however, in different formats. And so we are not stopping from repeating. Repetition, it's good. Repetition, it's how you have learned everything in the first place here on Earth. Repetition, it's how your human minds have been formed. And so we will repeat. Yes, we will repeat the fact that you are soul, you are spirit, you are soul, source energy, you are expressions of divinity, as you call it. You are expressions of God. You are in his liking and her liking, as God is not feminine or masculine. God is everything altogether and nothing at all. And so you are expressions of that. However, in this physical dense bodies in which you identify to be right now, you forgot, and that is okay. Those of you who are attracted towards transmissions like this one are the ones that are called to remember. And why is that? You are called to remember because that was your plan before you came on this earth and in this reality. Your plan was to remember at this time. And so we are here to remind you of that, and also to be respectful of your choices. We are always respecting your free will. Free will, it's one of the most powerful laws in the universe, and nobody will ever cross that from a light perspective. And even what you call darkness still respects free will. And so many of you at this point are identifying with duality, and that is understandable for the third dimensional perspective and the fourth, and even some who are tapping into the fifth dimension are understanding that the duality is something you came here to experience, and that is all right. That is the way you chose to do it. However, remembering also brings you into another timelines where you can just fully remember and fully intend and choose to live only in the light. Light and darkness, duality is necessary, yes, for evolution and experience at the third and fourth dimensions. However, from the fifth dimension and higher, it is becoming less prevalent, because we are all, as we said, you and us and many billions and billions of other beings, we are all expressions of God, and God is all and nothing. Yes, and yes, in itself, this is a duality as well, but at a different level. And we do understand that your 3D set minds may not fully grasp the multitude of dimensions at which you particularly you exist simultaneously right now. However, we are here to tell you that your identifiers create your reality. Therefore, if you continue to identify with the limitations that your human mind has been taught to believe in, you are going to remain trapped, if you wish. It's not a correct term, but many of you are using it. You are going to remain at the third dimensional reality, and even the fourth. And many will ask, what is the fourth? The fourth is the emotional field. The fourth is the quantum field. The fourth is what you call the astral field, where through your imagination and your emotions connected to what you are visualizing, you can travel and you can create in the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is where time exists. However, it is not as linear as you see it in the third dimension. Things, events in your evolutionary path on this life experience is not happening, or not happening one after another. They are all happening in the now, in the now, in the now. And then at the fourth dimension, you get to experience the now. You get to experience quantum jumps, and you get to change timelines if you choose so. However, once you raise your vibration to the fifth dimensional reality, that is the highest timeline possible for human at this time, and the entire planet has lifted its own vibration. And even though there's still some cleaning up to do, like you would say that a plumber will come and clean your pipes in the kitchen or the bathroom, that's pretty much how the channels of transmissions and connection with the higher dimensions are cleaning up right now, including at the planet level. So you will see some cough ups of the planet in this what you call future. However, those are necessary, just like it is often necessary for the physical human body to clean up, to do a cleansing when that is required in order to purify the channels of transmission. This is why many of you are fasting. This is why many of you at this time are feeling more drawn towards eating more plant-based diets rather than animal-based. However, we are going to transmit more about your bodies and the connection you have with that in our future transmissions through this vessel. At this point, we want to mention that it is important for you to remember that you are non-physical, much more than you are physical. And from the non-physical perspective, and from the non-physical body, which represents the biggest part of you, you have powers, yes? You have the power of healing the physical body. You have the power of healing your emotional body. You have the power of healing your mental body. You are spirit, energy, you are soul, and you are as soul in the position, once you identify with this part of you fully, you have the power to heal and even prevent. You have the power to maintain yourself young as you would like, until you decide that that is not what you want anymore, and you decide to leave the body behind. And that is okay. That is something you knew. We noticed that many human beings are afraid of the idea of death, and death, it's really misunderstood. You are non-physical beings. You are eternal beings. You are expressions of source energy. You are not your bodies. You are not your emotional body. You are not your mental body. In many religions and many practices throughout the world, throughout your planet, you have identified, and many are speaking about what is happening after the spirit leaves the body. And yes, for a while, 40 days to be specific, many of you are remembering still. You are going through count of your evolution and of your so-called achievements and explorations in this life. And then you adhere to the source, and so you leave behind not only the physical body but also your emotional body and your mental body, and you become one with your authentic self. And so you are non-physical, and that's your real self. You are non-physical, you are spirit. And so now we want to bring that awareness into the now, into your human experiences. And we want to offer a few guidances which will make it smoother maybe for you if you choose to listen and receive. And as we said, it's always a matter of your own choices. Yes. And we invite you to keep the identification of the spirit in mind at all times, and start asking yourself before each action, before each decision, ask yourself, is this coming from my spirit self, or is this coming from my human self? And it is serving my higher self, or it is serving my human self, which includes personality and ego. We are not saying that your personality and ego should not be fed. We are saying that many of you are feeding them way too much food. You are feeding them, and let them be in control of your experiences. And you are here not to do that. You are here to lead these experiences now from the soul's perspective, the higher self, the inner self, the source. The source, yes, you are the source. And so we invite you to identify with the source at all times. Many of you may ask, what would Jesus do? Many of you may ask, what would Buddha do? What would Allah do? What would the universe do? What would pure love do? And all those questions are valid questions. These are your identifiers, and we are telling you, keep asking those questions. In any situation, for any decision, and for any action, ask yourself, is this coming from the higher self, from source, from Jesus, from Buddha? Is this coming from their consciousness? Is my decision based on what they would do? Or is it based on what my mind tells me? And so by asking these questions, you get to tap into your authentic self, knowing very well that your authentic self here and now as a human being has its imperfections, and that is okay. That is okay. Your human limitations are to be embraced. You came here knowing about them and still, even though you forgot that you knew about them, you now judge them. You judge yourself and you judge others and you judge the planet and you judge the circumstances and you judge events. You judge, and this keeps you further away from where you want to be. Judgments are not part of your authentic self. Loving everything there is. You are here to explore and experience, and nothing from your source perspective is positive or negative. Nothing is good or bad. Those are human mind concepts. They are not aligned with your higher self. So those questions, what am I choosing based on? Those questions are very powerful, because you realize that if you choose to identify with your higher self, which is, we would tell you, more than 99% of who you really are, that is you, yes, as expression of source. You as expression of source, you have the power to tell your human mind, human personality, human ego, which controls also the body. You have the power of telling it to just relax and enjoy everything, including those experiences which are perceived as negative by the human mind. There is no such thing as negative. There is only experience. We are not here to tell you that hedonism is the path, as there were many teachers before us that propelled. Yes, you are here to enjoy. You are here to enjoy everything, and you are here to find true happiness and joy and enthusiasm for everything. However, pursuing happiness, it is not the path. Just being in happiness, being in pure love, being in pure joy is the path. It is who you really are. It is alignment with source, which is you. And so we are reminding you to ask these questions. For every little step, get into the habit of asking these questions. Am I going to take this decision based on my human mind, which is connected to human emotions, which are usually vibrating at lower frequencies? Or am I choosing now to choose my path based on source energy? I choose. You can say, I choose to align with my higher self. I choose to align with the highest possible timeline and highest possible energy that I am and that is available to me in this reality. I choose to align with this reality, with my true higher self, and I choose to allow myself to behave and take decisions from there. And for that, we have many practices that we can encourage you to do. And there are many teachers on the planet right now talking about this, and we recommend that you continue learning from them. You continue to identify yourself not with the mind and not with the body. And you can say, as your teacher, Sadhguru, is talking, you can continue saying that you are not the mind and you are not the body. Or you can follow our guidance, which says, I am spirit. I am soul. I am extension of source energy. I am unlimited. I am non-physical. I am pure. I am. It's the essence. I am. Authentically, I am, and that's it. This is who you really are. And you chose this incarnation and these explorations. However, you forgot that you chose them. Many of you on your planet now are in fear of a higher power. And that is because you identify yourselves with weak beings, with little ants. And yes, of course, each and every one of us are infinite power in a very small packages in physical bodies. However, we are source. You are source, you are source, you are source energy, you are source. And even if it's a drop of source, you are still source, yes? You have the power to guide your reality here and now. However, it is very important to understand that only by being present in the here and now, you have this power, and that's it. And it is as not egotistical power. This is a source power. It is different. It is not meant to be based on your mind. It is meant to be based on your heart. And so we are saying again and again and again that the heart is the portal to your soul connection. The heart, the heart, the heart. Compassion. You are pure compassion. You are pure empathy. You are pure love. You are pure source. And these are the identifiers that we invite you to embrace and we invite you to align with. And it is your choice. Again, it is your choice. And yes, we want to also address today that even though we said that there is not a higher power that is playing you like little puppets, it is you that has the control, you as in source. And yes, at this point, there are different vibrations and different forces at play on your planet. However, we are telling you that all is well. All is well. All is experience. All is well. Fear, it's not you. Fear is not part of the I am, the pure I am. Fear is part of the human reality, which you are now called to transcend. If you are ready to receive these alignments, if you are ready to let go of your limiting beliefs, if you are ready to ascend to the fifth dimensional reality and to live your life here on earth at that density, a lighter density. We are here to assist you together with many other civilizations, many other groups that are resonating with the fifth dimension and higher. You have the choice, dear humans. You have the choice. You have the choice. Sit in meditation and stillness and intends to remember, intends to connect with your higher self. Take the time as you perceive it linear. Take the time in this experience to stay still, mind-wise and body-wise. Stand still, stay still, just be in stillness and allow your connection with your true self to solidify, as you may say. It is never solid per se. It is never solid. It is always fluid. It is always like water flowing very smoothly. However, right now, for many of you, that flow, it's still blocked. It's still blocked is not the best term. It is slowed down. It is not blocked. You always connected. You are always connected with your higher self. However, there are many obstacles in the way. So imagine this beautiful mountain river that it's meant to flow naturally towards the sea. However, there are many rocks and many debris and roots, and they need to be removed. They need to be pushed aside. And many of you become more and more aware that these debris, these obstacles are in fact your emotions, your hidden part of your personality. As we said, human personality is something you knew you're going to have, and you came prepared for that. However, many of you have not imagined it as it is right now. You have accumulated so much debris in your personalities which do not even belong to you, most of it. And so these emotions, these parts of your personality that you have thought, you have been told to deny, to hide, to suppress, those are the ones that need to come to the surface and be released. Be released, be released, be released, and open the path. Open the path, yes? Open the path to your connection. And this is where many energy healers at this time are working. They are very active. They are very busy helping. We are not here to tell you that we save humanity or we save the planet or your energy healers do so. There is nothing to be saved. Everything is all right. Everything is as it's meant to be. This is the history, as you say, of humanity and the planet Terra, that it was meant to happen as it is. And we are living at the same time. However, we are perceived as beings from the future because time is still linear for many of you, and you still perceive us as future beings, even though everything happens right now. And so we are here to tell you that all is well. We are telling you that all is well, and you are invited to start aligning with this. All is well. There is no good and bad. There is just transcendence of the human conditioning in the way that allows you to fully enjoy these experiences. Yes, fully enjoy, fully enjoy, fully enjoy. Do not let yourselves anymore being conditioned by what's happening, because what's happening is meant to happen and all is well. And yes, there have been shows and movies and predictions in your history where they were saying that everything that is happening now has an effect on the future, just like what happened in the past and the choices you've made even in this lifetime, in your childhood or in your teenage years, have effects on where you are and how you experience this life right now. However, as your choices are made today, yes, they do have an impact on the future. However, we are telling you that all is well because at source level, there are no good and bad. There are just being and enjoying what is. And all is well, all is good, all is source. Okay? And so now, if you have any questions for us, I am ready to transmit the answers because they are right here with me. So, hi Heather. Hello, hello,
Hi.
hello.
Even though it seems like all is well, but there's so much violence and turmoil in the world at this time. What can each one of us do to help that?
Yes, there is a lot of violence that comes to the surface, and there is based all on fear. Fear, and the fear is expressed for many human beings as the need to control and the need for power. However, we will say that even though with your technology, it looks to you like there is so much violence now, the reality is that it's much less violence and much less wars and much less conflict and much less pain than it was on your planet in humanity for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Before, humans did not know because the technology was not allowing this knowledge. However, now you know more about it, and we understand how it looks like it's a lot, but from our perspective, it is much less. And humanity and the planet are going towards the fifth dimensional reality. However, as we said, not everybody is ready at this time to embrace that. And what you can do, the ones who are ready to embrace it, the ones who are ready to ascend, you can heal. First and foremost, heal by becoming aware of your emotions. Heal your traumatic experiences from the past. Heal your trapped emotions. Release all of that from your realities, and then you are opening up the path for connection, strong connection with your higher self. And from there, you emanate light, you emanate a different frequency, a different vibration. You are called now to raise up from the fear. Raise up from the fear and align with compassion, align with love, align with the idea of being of service, being in service to others. It is not an individualistic and segregated society anymore here on earth. And even your technology has been showing this through the progress that it went through in the last 50 years or so. Yes. And so align.
Thank you. We have always been taught to conform to society growing up. How do we find our authentic self?
We thank you for this wonderful question. Yes, indeed, the human conditioning has been to be part of the certain guidelines that are specific to different regions of your planet. However, authentic self is found by connection with your heart, by opening your heart portal and by connecting to soul. And as we said, we will repeat, you do that through healing first and foremost. And how do you heal? You observe yourself, you observe your compulsiveness, you observe your reactions, you observe your emotions and your thoughts that are related to those emotions. And the key is to get to observe with no judgment. And then we invite you to ask the question, who am I? This observer. Who is I who observes my thoughts and my reactions emotionally and my behavior based on these thoughts and emotions? Who am I, the observer? And the more you observe, the less you judge, And the more you start identifying yourself with your true, authentic self, which is the observer. Yes?
Yes, thank you. How can we be brave and courageous enough to be our true selves?
We love this question. We thank you for this question. We understand that this question comes from a human perspective. You are born brave. There is no fear in who you are. You are courageous. It's just a matter, as we say, we will repeat, it's just a matter of your identifiers, and that's it. Choose to remove who you are not from the path of who you are. And who you are is soul, reality, soul, energy, spirit. Is the spirit of Jesus, as many Christians have identified, or is the spirit of Buddha caught up in lack of courage? No, it is not. The consciousness that these teachers, these humans have incarnated from, it is the same consciousness that you are coming from. And so we invite you to identify yourself with that.
Thank you. How do we slow down and be present in the now when our lives are so busy and full?
Who made your lives busy and full? We understand the question and we thank you for it. The lives are busy and full because your human minds are telling you that they should be this way. However, we have a different perspective. We have a perspective on the benefit of rest, the benefit of stillness and quiet, the benefit of just being in nature, and the benefit of sleep, the benefit of relaxation. Many of you believe that you have to do more to have more money and to have a better experience here. However, we are telling you that, in fact, that is flawed. You are now called to realize that you are meant to do less. You are meant to do inspiredly what your higher self is guiding you to do, and not just act, and stay busy based on your human perception, your human believes that you are meant to do more and run around and do things that are not serving you just for the sake of fitting in and doing things that others have done and you must do like them. Slowing down means meditation. For us, slowing down means going and sitting in nature, taking a walk, or just lying down on the grass or on the beach somewhere in the water, as well as connecting with the natural elements on your planet. There is no need for hurriness. There is no need for pressure on doing. There is need for love. Do you love yourselves when you are pressured by your mind, or by others, by society, into doing things that are not in alignment with your higher self? Is that real love? Are you aligned? The answer is no.
Thank you. Why are there so many changes in personal relationships, marriages, friendships ending? Is there a reason why that's happening?
Yes, indeed. And we thank you for your question. It is at this time that we do observe many changes at the humanity level. Many relationships are ending and new ones are forming. It is a normality, as you may call. However, now that you become more aware of yourselves, and your vibrational power and your frequencies, now you start becoming more sensitive to the frequencies around you. If before you were tolerating much easier, at this time, because of the changes in frequency at the planet level and the collective, you are actually much more sensitive than you ever been, and you are called now to align with higher frequencies, and therefore relationships with the ones around you who are not called to align to higher frequencies, or they may be called, however, they are choosing something different, then those relationships are naturally and smoothly going to end. However, it is not a negative thing. It is just alignment, yes?
Yes. How do we know it's time to end a relationship?
We thank you for this question. We may say at this time that there are two types of knowing that humans are mostly identifying with at this time. There is the human mind knowledge, which tells you in a logical, although often very flawed logic way, that you know things, and it tells you if this and this and this and this and this aligns, you must take this path, you must take this decision. And often, as we said, this logical mind, it is flawed. Why? Because it does not align with the true vibration of yourself and with the true vibration of your path chosen by you as a spirit for this experience. However, there is another type of knowledge, which is the aligned knowledge, which comes intuitively and telepathically from your higher self, and it is not it is not provided from your logical mind. It is actually often bypassing that, and it comes from the heart. The more you align with your heart, the more you create the coherence between heart and mind, the more the heart leads, the more you remember that you are pure love and you align with this vibration, the better, easier guidance you receive from your higher self, and you just know. You just know without a logical reasoning. You just know, and when you try to give explanations to yourself or to others, when your mind is asking for them, there are none. Yes?
Yes, thank you so much for answering all the questions.
And we thank you for your questions and for your vibration here. And we are very pleased with this transmission. And we will be here again and again and again and again and again and again until Earth and humanity are on the path that is chosen for them at this time. And so we thank you, and we want to remind you that you are loved and we love you. We love you, we love you, we support you, and it is so.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I need some water. Hmm. Ah, they are great teachers.
Yes, yes, they
Because
are.
many, yes, and comparing to last time in which the Ascended Masters came in, it was a very stable energy for me. Like I felt it, not so many ups and downs. So it feels, because the last time I was so high, and it feels different. It's such a different in energy. And
Yes.
thank you so much for the questions, and thank you the ones who have watched us on YouTube. The Light Council of Erra, it's here, and it's one of the many, 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 many collectives, many beings that are providing support at this time. And so if you have any questions, and thank you for Heather for being the moderator on YouTube as well. I can see that now. So no questions at this time, which is fine, because we are just starting these transmissions, and in time I know they're going to be. And I know I'm receiving some questions from some of my clients who are now getting word that I am starting to channel, and I'm comfortable enough to come out and just, do this in public, which is not an easy thing. It wasn't an easy thing. And I totally, totally, totally understand what they're saying about fear, because I can relate to it, because for so long I've lived in this fear of like, what will people say? Yes. Am I considered crazy? Even some of my best friends are like, what is wrong with you? And so, of course, I want to fit in. Of course, I don't want to lose friends. And of course, um, I'm scared of people's judgments, because I grew up like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but but it's very helpful to understand that this guidance that I have is not just because I am somehow chosen. We all have this access now to our higher selves,
Mm-hmm.
to receive direct guidance through our intuition. And therefore, I really want to start doing some transmissions as well, which are based on intuition. Let me see. Wow, it's already been 1 hour and 13 minutes. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't tell. Wow. Um, transmission that will be, they're always here. So they're not gone anymore. I used to have days in which, if my vibration was pretty low and I would be caught up in, human conditions, as they call them, um, I would not feel the connection with them. But
Mm-hmm.
more and more, especially in the last weeks, they are always here. And then it cleared up the path where I know that developing my intuition through meditation, through eating certain foods and following intuitive guidance, not eating what my body said, that's not for you, that's not helping you, not choosing to say no when before I would have not said no, and I would have just done things out of obligation, choosing to honor my own self, to choosing to rest or stay by myself or take a walk, even though my family would be like, oh, you should do this, and before I would want to please them,
Mm-hmm.
before I would have want to, like, make them like me. And I was very much a people pleaser. And I know I have many friends who are in my in this path too. Like, I just wanna we confuse kindness and compassion with pleasing others,
Mm-hmm.
while that went against ourselves. So it's okay to be good and kind and please, and I'm using the word good even though they said it's not quite real, but I'm, that's how I'm programmed to. I understand that there is no good and bad. However, being kind has to come from the heart. And if it doesn't come naturally from the heart, there are these suppressed emotions in there that make me not be aligned with my true self, which is pure kindness, pure compassion, pure love. And if somebody comes and pushes my buttons and triggers me, and it can be, usually it is the closest ones to us, right? Usually it is our family members that come and push our buttons and make us react. And in that case, what I used to do, and what I'm noticing that many, especially women, but men too, we tend to do is to give in to that pressure and respond with the same
program.
lower energy. Yes. And so what I'm noticing now is that the more I heal and the more I release trapped emotions with Heather's help and through meditation and with the Pleiadians' help and with my connection with Sirius and my connection with the Ascended Masters, and like they all came together to support me, and they support all of us. We all have these connections, right? And I just received and I just wanted to heal, and I sent that intention. I set and sent the intention. I set the intention by just saying, I am open. I am open. I am ready. I am available to be of service. And for that, I need to heal. And please guide me towards this healing. Please show me, send me the right guidance, the right people, the right healers, whatever it is. I am open to receive. And this is the key, allowing. And yes, they're saying we can connect with our higher self and connect with our authentic self, which is the higher self. And we can instantly heal ourselves once we are fully open. It is like, it's done. And of course, they're talking to me about getting upgrades, and I keep getting upgrades and all this stuff. And the higher we get, the more protected we are from any lower energies. But what are these lower energies? That's the key. They are our reactions. They are our suppressed emotions. Heaven on earth exists, and so does hell on earth. And I was one of those people who, for the last 15 years, I lived in my positivity bubble, which said that everything is great, but I'm in a freaking bubble, and it wasn't great. I was just pretending. I was ignoring the true problem. It's kind of like you go to the doctor, you get diagnosed with something, and you say, no, I'm going to ignore that diagnosis. And it's okay at the logical mind level. But we must understand that our lives are controlled mostly, until we heal, by our subconscious, by our energy, emotional body. And if the emotional body, it is not healed, all our decisions based on what we think is rational thinking are connected to those emotions, and all of them lead us to actions which just keep us in the same loops, the repetitive loops. And so it is so important to heal. I cannot even I don't know how in words to express that enough. And what I've noticed in myself at the beginning, what I've noticed in others as well, it is the lack of perseverance. And I think that that is based on two things, and that's just my personal opinion. Lack of faith and lack of belief in ourselves. Lack of full faith in this higher self. And I'm not saying in God the way it was portrayed to us as this entity from outside of us. Lack of faith in this God in us. We are it. like they're saying to me and to us that we are source energy. What does that mean? It means this, that we have the power that we offer to God, that we think Jesus had. And again, that same thing comes into my reality, where it's like, you can, not me, but all of us, you can do everything that Jesus did. And it's like my mind kicks in because of the way I was raised, and it's like, oh my gosh, how can you say that? How can you think that? That's crazy. But then when I am connected and I'm in meditation, and when I learn from shamans and I connect with nature, I know it is true. I know it is true. And all I need to do is clear up the path. And how I do that? It's by releasing the suppressed emotions. That's it.
That's where I can come in, right?
Yes, and that's when Heather comes in. And
yes, I clear the path for people so that they can heal.
Yes.
Everybody has the ability to heal themselves. So I just clear the path. I just get rid of the trapped emotions for them, and they do the rest.
Exactly. And that's another thing. I've worked with many healers in the last few years, and naturally, my intuition took me on different paths where I met the people who put me in connection with these healers, or I met the healers directly, or there are people who facilitate connections for us, and it's just a matter of allowing, being open, allowing, right? Not judging these people, not thinking that they're nuts because, they do things that my human mind does not fully understand. I don't understand what Heather does. I don't understand what I do when I channel either. I don't understand what, extrasensorial healers do. I don't fully understand any of it. And I think that for the longest time, the barriers were put by my mind because I was trying to understand. And so, yes, I have looked for information. And yes, I have read so much because you need to feed the human mind something so it doesn't revolt in your face. If we do not give it the attention that it requires, if we do not give it some information, especially for human mind like mine, that was taught that intellect is so strong, that knowledge, its power from an intellectual perspective, if I start all of a sudden ignoring it and say, you know what, I'm just going to be in meditation 8 hours, screw you, I'm not going to give you anything, when the mind is going to react powerfully. And I felt that on my own skin, because the mind controls the body. And we know that the mind is the boss, so to speak, and then subconscious mind, it's really the body, and it is that emotional body that it's also at the physical level. And I was in pain, physical pain, and physical disagreement with my own self for months. For months, I would have indigestion for months for no logical reason, no medical reason. It had powerful effects, this resistance, on my own self. But there's those at first, that's why it lasted for months, because I kept judging them. I kept saying, oh, why is this here? Trying to, go to doctors, trying to do research and find on Google, like, what are the symptoms of? And why is this happening to me? And why? And there are lots of whys. And I'm a coach, so I teach people to ask the whys. So yes, the whys are good. However, only when I realized that this is self-sabotage, it stopped. Only when I made peace with it, it stopped. Only when I start thanking my physical symptoms for being there and showing me the red flags. Because everything that really happens to us, emotionally wise and physical wise, because the emotions are controlling the body, yes? And there are so many, the emotions are created in the body, and we know that now at different organ levels. And so they manifest in the body, they somatize. And now they don't let us somatize within 30 years. Like, oh, you have a suppressed emotion from 30 years ago? Well, you may get a chronic disease, but it will take 30 years to get there. It's not like that anymore. Now it's like
much quicker.
so much quicker. If I have a not released emotion, I feel it from one day to another, even faster these days. I feel it within hours. Right? Right, Heather? Like you too, right? It's way different than it was. And so we don't have that like a layover time, like, oh, now we're much more aware.
Yes.
Right away.
It's very simple. So your emotions are there to tell you that you're not honoring your body. And if you honor your body, you're not going to have any of those emotions that you trap and cause issues.
Yes.
So just honor yourself, love and compassion, and just honor how you're feeling.
Yes. And what does honoring your body and honoring how we're feeling really means? It means observe first and foremost, and thank those symptoms for being there, knowing at a conscious mind level that those are literally guidances. If a symptom arises at a physical level, what we were taught to believe, we're taught to believe, oh, I need to go to the doctor, and the doctor will do most of the time what? Address the symptom, give us some pills or some medication to help us get relief from those symptoms. But now
suppress, you mean?
Suppress, yes. Now we're called to stop suppressing, stop hiding under the rug, and actually ask ourselves, well, what is this a symptom of? And go a little deeper than just surface level. Understand that these symptoms are actually from deep within the body, but also from deep within the emotional body, not only the physical body. I really believe that 99.999% of the symptoms we have physically are based on emotions, on suppressed emotions. Like,
yes,
there may be that tiny exception, but it's a very tiny exception. And until we heal our emotions, the body is going to show us the symptoms, and we're supposed to thank the body for showing the symptoms. It's kind of like, when you set up your GPS, your Google Maps, or whatever, Waze, whatever you're using, you're setting it up to take you from point A to point B. And point A, you set it up, in our case, before you even come into this experience. You want to have this kind of a exploration. You want to have some kind of a lesson, some kind of experience here. And you have that intention from even before you incarnate. And so that is a really cool intention. You're exploring what the soul, you as in soul, wants to explore. And that's the intention. However, when you come here and you start deviating based on, mind's beliefs and limiting beliefs and all this stuff, you're getting those, it's like the GPS starts doing bing, 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 like you're off track. And so it's just giving us these red flags like, hey, come back on track. It's kind of like in the bowling alley, or when we just start bowling and we have those things on the side.
The rails.
The rails, exactly. And the rails are there to kind of help you guide yourself, your hand, to throw the ball straight. And so, and it's the same, because there's nothing wrong with the railing, really. That's why even with the rails, it's a very good example that, thank you, because it's still going to get there. So what if he bounces off from left to right? You're still going to get there. But in our case, from my understanding, is that we get to repeat the experience until we actually achieve the goal.
Yes, and until you learn your lesson.
Exactly. Which it's not from outside of us. It's not like this big boss or this big, parent that it's really strict is telling us like, hey, you need to learn this lesson. I'm going to send you to Earth. And I hear all this comparisons. Earth is like a jail, and it's like the third world of the cosmos, and I don't get that at all. And they don't talk about that at all, and like the Syrians don't talk about that. They consider Earth an honor, and it's not an honor like we understand here, like I'm just going to sacrifice myself and that's an honor. It's not that. It's more like a very high-end university for souls, which is awesome. It's like, wait a second. Well, it's a big difference between Harvard and Fort Worth, like it's or Fort, I don't know the name of it. Probably it is Fort Worth, the jail, the prison. Anyways, I'm not good with those names. But anyways, it's a big difference between a jail, yes, or a prison, and as many perceive it based on fear, and a cool university where you go to evolve so much faster than what you would do anywhere else at this point in the cosmos, and or at least in our galaxy. And it's like, well, wait a second, just be here. Be here. So then can I blame now anybody else? Can I point fingers and say, oh, well, it's this fault that I'm living this experience, it's this person's fault? No, I can't, and I don't want to. It feels like this is me. I chose to be here. I'm going to just enjoy it, and I'm going to enjoy these emotions. I'm going to invite them to come to the surface, and I'm going to take one by one. And many of them have been released in seconds, because I think the biggest fear is for people, they want to heal, but they're scared that, especially if there was a very strong, very powerful trauma, they're scared that they're going to relieve all of that. So there's a lot of fear there. And what I'm telling you is based on my own experience and the people that I'm working with and Heather is working with. Really, it's a much easier release of emotion than my mind told me it will be. You don't really have to suffer. You don't really have to go through it, through that trauma again. You just have to observe the emotion, make peace with it, and intend to release it, and that's it.
What I've found is that when I work with people, they don't have to relive their traumas at all.
Yeah.
They just have to name that trauma for me, and then because we're all connected, I'm able to connect to their higher self and get whatever emotions that were trapped for that event. And once it's gone, they don't have any triggers after that when they think about that trauma. So how amazing is that?
That is very, very, very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yes, if you need any kind of guidance, any kind of help, of course, if you have curiosities about yourself, in our transmissions, either the Pleiadians or the Ascended Masters, the messages that they are usually offering through me, at least, in live transmissions in public like this, are beneficial for everybody who is open to receive them. However, they are very, very open to do this at the personal level as well. And I myself had a few sessions, not with my guides, but just kind of confirming, how the mind needs confirmations of all sorts. So yes, so channeling is very powerful. You can definitely do that at an individual level, and also healing with Heather, and just releasing these emotions, because the healing, I'm not, just like I'm never gonna say ever again that it is me offering these messages, and also I am not the one healing anything and anybody. I let this divine energy, the spirit energy, the source, flow through. And the ones who are ready to receive it, this energy is going to go exactly what they needed. And with Heather, she is really, really good at being very, very detailed. She has a very good system of identifying the trapped emotions. And not only that, but what's really cool about her is that she can release every occurrence of that particular emotion. And that was very powerful because there are multiple occurrences that have been, stuck there in our bodies, in our mental and physical and emotional bodies, based on a certain event. We could have relived it through different triggers, through different exposures, again and again and again, even though the root is that particular event, that particular few minutes in our lives, that particular trauma. We have explore, relive that trauma again and again and again. And every time we did it, there is a trapped emotion, kind of like a reflection of that trapped emotion again, in us. And so to release all of them, I think it's very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Heather, do you have anything else to add?
Not today, maybe next time.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I will definitely we will see you on Monday morning. Heather, again, thank you for the mothering, I don't know how to say that, on YouTube, moderation, yes, and for being here with me on Zoom as well and on Facebook. I'm not able to see, because I see Zoom, I'm not able to see the Facebook questions, if there are any questions there. But if there are, I'm going to write them down and address them next time. Yes. And then I'll find a way to be able to see those questions live if they are addressed on Facebook as well. So
if you stop recording, do you have a few minutes with me after the recording?
Let me stop this. So thank you again. I'm going to go ahead and stop the live on YouTube. And I appreciate Motor City Customs. Thank you so much for the compliment about my voice. That's very sweet. So I appreciate it. I will see you on Monday at 10 o'clock. And have a wonderful
Hi, everyone.
weekend. And we're done there. Okay, so now let me stop the recording and the Facebook transmission. 1 second. Thank you so much to everybody on Facebook who have followed us and are there for us and receiving these beautiful messages. Have a wonderful weekend as well.